vibe one time for your mind.
Welcome to Sunbeat Live. I'm Adrian Valente with Sunbit, and if you're one of our dealership partners, you're in the right place. Happy Wednesday, July 1st, and welcome to our weekly educational program, because we got a good one today, so I'm just going to get straight to it. Please welcome our co-host and show producer, Queenita Brown. Queenita, how are you?
I am wonderful. Happy. It's July.
It's July. Where did the time go? I can't believe we're in the midst of summer real quick. But so what do we got in store today?
Ooh, today's a special day because we have a special guest. So we are so excited.
Yes. And make sure if you're here tuned in live with Zoom Events, you submit your questions. Of course, everyone here in Zoom Events is getting Sunbeast app rewards points as our way of saying thank you for making the time. And of course, you can always catch our episode simulcast on YouTube as well as uploaded the same day to Spotify. But who is our special guest? Because I'm very excited. When we have employees that have been with us for many years, it's always an absolute treat. Yanet Marquez-Luna is a senior key account specialist, has been with Sunbit for 6 years. We're going to learn more about what she does and answer some common questions and help out our audience for today's live cast. But please, welcome to the program, Yanet. Yanet, how are you? Oh my goodness.
I'm good. Chat, hype me up.
Nice. Awesome. Well, this is your first time on the program. Actually, let's bring in chat real quick and say hello to folks. Some of you may recognize Yanet if you're from the early days of our Super Sunbeast Club and maybe remember some of our older videos. I know, Thomas Yadrin, old school.
Old school. Yet so young. Just kidding. Right, Thomas?
But before we get into today's topics and stuff, Yanet, tell us a little bit about yourself and your background with Sunbit.
Yeah. Okay. I am having my 6-year anniversary with Sunbit literally next month, which is so insane. I have been with Sunbit since it was a baby, like an actual baby. I started middle of the pandemic. Everything was completely remote. And there were like 18 employees on the floor when I was working.
Wow.
So we're at over 800 now, which is insane.
That's incredible. So what did you start doing back then? Back in the day, like what was your job like?
It was literally all auto. So anybody here who's not aware, we have several verticals, but only auto existed. That's where Sunbit started, our founding father, Otto, and literally that was it. So I was just coordinating, setting up trainings. We couldn't go into dealerships in person because everything was remote, so things looked really different.
Yeah. I used to be in the field for many years prior to that, and you were joining us when we were scrambling because it was like the whole field team was grounded. Nobody could travel. So the ability to actually, engage with our partners remotely, it spawned the whole Sunbeast community, the Sunbeast mobile app, the live shows we do on Wednesdays, the weekly newsletters. Boy, you joined at such a formative time. You were just so that was back then. What's your role look like today?
Today, I have transitioned into the dental vertical mostly, which has been such an experience because it was me and my colleague Tom, and we literally built out dental from the ground up. It didn't exist. It was a challenge, and it was so fun. So now I work with the dental offices mostly. Recently also transitioned into a role where I finally get to see people's faces. So half the time I'm in the office doing admin, and then half the time I'm out in the field visiting. So
Oh, wow.
It's been really fun.
Boy, for our 10-year anniversary this year, it's been really fun to bring back employees who spent their formative time at Sunbit working with our dealership partners, because so much of our core training methodologies have remained hyper consistent over the years. And we pretty much teach the same things across all these different industries. At the end of the day, Sunbit is Sunbit. Like Thomas Yadrin, Dental is a Beast. Yeah, we have the Elite Escape coming up, where the top 20 Sunbeasts in dealership service centers and the top 20 dealership dental Sunbeasts are going to Hawaii together. And that's happening later, end of July, early August. We'll be hearing more about that as it happens. But and I hear they're cooking up some really, like, the next version of the Elite Escape. Sorry, I tease too much. I gotta stop.
He's such a teaser. I feel like Yanet, didn't you do something with Super Sunbeast? I feel like you guys talked about something else along your journey here.
Yeah, that's where the homeboy Thomas Yadrin came in. So yeah, we started like a little fun program. So Sunbeast didn't exist when I started with Sunbit. So that was kind of like the first unfolding of like rewarding all of our like colleagues, partners, associates. And then we were trying to find something a little more personal to do. So I was spending a lot of time with like the top 1% of performers within the auto vertical, which was really cool. So there's some names in the chat that I recognize, a lot of people that I had one-on-one conversations with. It was a totally different journey. So there's a lot of like videos of me probably out on YouTube that I don't even
out in the wild.
Yeah. I'm on the internet.
Thomas Yadder in the chat mentioning he remembers his first points, got him a Sunbit cup. That's interesting. So back then it was all swag, right? For rewards.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Sending out like hats, jackets, polos, things like that. So it was so fun. And now you guys get to earn cash, gift cards. You guys get to go shopping. I think that was one of like the most rewarding things was around the holiday season, talking to the Sunbeast and them telling me I'm saving it all up. It's covering all the Christmas gifts. My wife is delivering soon. It's going to pay for all the diapers, just like all the different personal stories of what you guys were doing with the rewards. It was really fun to see.
Oh, nice. A couple people in the chat want to bring the swag back. Maybe one day. We'll see. Okay. Yeah. So there were a couple of things I was really curious to pick your brain about. By the way, for the live audience right now, there's a couple things happening. We have a live poll for anyone tuned in on Zoom events. As part of our Sunbeast Nation Summer Celebration, we are collecting stories from everyone, and you may be featured in a future episode of Sunbeast Live, possibly even next week, for additional bonuses and incentives. So feel free to spend the rest of the episode sharing your stories. But you can also submit questions using that Q&A button for Yanet to answer. But I had a question, so I want to go to my first question real quick, and that is, what is your favorite Sunbit feature?
My favorite question. I am so basic because I'm a day oneer. So literally the iPad. I feel like the iPad is like the catch-all, be-all, the way that you connect with your customers. That's like the whole thing. That's what Sunbit was built on.
Why is the tablet your favorite?
Because of the magic trick. Literally. I mean, I've been with Sunbit for 6 years and I'm doing our magic trick every single day. I get to talk to our partners face to face. And when I do like a quick refresher demo and I show them the ID scan and how quickly the approval comes through and how minimal the questions are, just like seeing their, like the awe of new employees finding out how easy the tool is. There's that. And then it's kind of like, it has most of the features that Sunbit offers in general, at least on like the customer side. We got the menu, you add and remove your users, you send out per qualification links, checkout links. So you can really be proactive with the iPad, but you can also chase your customers with those links. So having it both just in one place is nice.
I love that because I know for a lot of us employees, seeing the tablet in action for the first time is a really powerful thing. And I know it swayed a lot of us and instilled that deep belief very early on. We just had a new hire class, and I always tell the new hire classes that, I used to work for companies where it felt like I was demoing incomplete solutions or vaporware. And it's like, this thing actually works. This is crazy, and here, we always you see in our marketing, 90% approval rate and stuff. But, many of our dealerships, they're doing much better than that. We're always under promising, over delivering, which is a good thing. And I'm curious, and this actually leads to my next question. So if the iPad is your favorite feature, I'm curious, because I know a lot of people love pre-qualification links. You mentioned you can use the iPad to send a link. So there's always this question of which one should I be using? How do you coach on this?
Okay. iPad first, always. Customer walks in and coming into a dealership, they're like with the dental vertical, there's so much anxiety that comes with it because you're about to find out about repairs and, you guys have all the recommendations. So I myself have actually used Sunbit to replace my brakes, and best believe I hopped on that 3 months, no interest. So the iPad is just something so helpful to connect with the customer and show them their options on the spot. So I consider the iPad your proactive best friend. And then the link is kind of like a chasing tool. So customer walked out the door. Maybe they're just waiting while their car is getting serviced and they went out for lunch. That's what I always like to do, is grab a bite while I wait for my oil to be changed. And you find out the customer has a couple of things coming up on their car. So you can give them a quick phone call and say, hey, before you come back in, you have some options. This is what we're looking at. Send them the link. You can also be proactive with a link, but like I said, you probably have a lot of customers who probably haven't had their car serviced in a while. So it's a good way to reconnect and bring them back.
That's an absolute gem right there. iPad versus link. So iPad primary, number one. And then secondary would be link. Let's go into the chat real quick. I know Thomas Yadrin mentioning got to try that phone link from the app. Ooh, are you piloting? There is are you doing it from the Sunbeast app, Thomas? Is that what you're talking about? Yes.
Thomas always trying the new thing.
So Thomas is testing a feature that allows you to send the pre-qualification link from your Sunbeast app, something that's being worked on right now. So Thomas, thank you for piloting that, and interesting to see what might be right around the corner for everybody else. Love it. Can't say much more.
Damon signed Scott. An NDA, okay?
I was just going to say NDA.
Damon Scott from Malloy Honda, it's right in front of them with full transparency with the iPad, and the link helps with upcoming visits, upsells, and future visits. Oh, Yanet, how do you feel about what Damon's throwing down in the chat?
I love it. So I always say, be proactive with the iPad when the customer is in the dealership. I usually consider the link a chasing tool, but you can maximize the link if you're being proactive. I haven't even met this customer. I don't know what they look like. It's a good way to build rapport too, because when they come in, you kind of have your open line. It's nice to meet you. Hey, I sent you a text. Did you get it? And let's talk about that. So you can be proactive with it. So, link, iPad, link again. You kind of have a whole process there. It works in so many different ways. So I love to hear that.
I've never heard the term or phrase using it as a chasing tool. When you're using the link as a chasing tool, what does that mean?
Chasing tool is basically when the customer has walked out the door. Maybe they haven't, accepted the parts, the services. So they're probably debating what to do next. We need to follow up with them now and just let them know, hey, just a friendly reminder, you do still have options and I'd love to help out. So I think of it as a way to just reconnect with a customer who's walked out the door.
Interesting.
You always want to call with a reason, right? If I'm reaching out to a partner, it's because of something. I'm not just sometimes I do want to know how their day is going, but give them a purpose.
Longtime friend of the show, Jeff Manzanares in the chat, letting us know, customers also love that we can send a checkout link, if not at the dealer, and then they can play around with that payment options that they want to make. Really like that there. Jessica Deckert, bringing up a mention of a rehabilitation case patient saw a tool on Sunbit to improve their smile and health. Jessica, are you with one of our dental partners? Are you joining us on the dealership show? That's pretty cool. I like seeing that. But thanks for joining, if so. But thinking about this whole notion of giving people options, when you're coaching Sunbeasts, what do you think holds people back from offering Sunbit? What do you think is holding them back?
I think the biggest thing is just being think about it this way. Most of the time they're afraid of financing, which most of you should already be aware that we call financing the F word here at Sunbit because it's such a daunting, scary topic. The same way that you might be scared to have the conversation, the customer probably is also afraid of that conversation. So I think they get held back because it's uncomfortable. They don't want to assume anything about the customer, but you're really never assuming. I'm not a salesperson. And when I was getting hired by Sunbit, that was a day one thing. I was I'm not a salesperson. I'm more success. I'm the follow-up. I can help out. But something that I learned in one of my literally a restaurant job in college was the best seller isn't selling. They're just letting you know you have options. I always tell my partners, you're not pushing Sunbit on someone. You're letting them know it exists because most people aren't going to ask for something they don't know exists. So the one-liner, this is the cost, you could pay up front or we can split it up into a monthly payment. Easy, to the point, no pressure.
You just gave me this crazy nostalgic wave of memories from when I also worked in a restaurant in high school and college. And I specifically remember my talk track. I don't know if you remember if you had a talk track when you greeted a table, but I worked at California Pizza Kitchen for 6 years, very corporate. So they were very good at teaching everybody stuff. And when you went to greet a table, you weren't supposed to keep it generic. You had to offer very specific options. So talk track was, hey everybody, I'm Adrian. I'll be taking care of you. Can I get you started with a spinach artichoke dip or a strawberry lemonade?
Nice.
It was. Do you remember if you had one like that? Your old talk tracks?
I don't remember doing that, but I wish I would have known because my tickets would have been a lot higher and so would my tips have been. But that's good. I mean, you got me. If somebody offers to start me with a spinach artichoke, I'm going to say yes. But that's when you look at your friends and you all kind of have that side eye and then you're like,
do we?
Yeah.
Sure.
Let's go to the chat real quick and help Jeff Manzanares out. He has a question. Is there a way to add a pop-up or something to also let customers know when checking out to that they can change the payment date once? I mean, I always tell them, but if they're remotely checking out, that's interesting. So what we're talking about here is the fact that a customer of yours, when they complete a Sunbit loan, it automatically sets the due date a month from today. You do the Sunbit today, next payment's a month from today. But folks can either use the Sunbit app or call support to change their due date. And they're allowed to do that once over the course of the term. Maybe they want to align it with their payment schedule. Maybe they're paid bi-weekly or once a month kind of thing. So Jeff, making a good point, hey, is there any way for us to do a pop-up on the application or when the transaction's being completed? We'll take that feedback. Right now, there's no way to turn anything on like that. But Jeff, the fact that you're going the extra mile to let customers know, that's pretty great. That's pretty great. Jessica, I love that you're one of our dental Sunbeasts and you've joined us today for the auto show. I mean, there's so many similarities, whether you're fixing your teeth or fixing your car, right? The journey for customers and patients is very similar. In fact, let's
Wait, she has
check
a good
this
question though. Did you see her question?
Yeah,
For Jessica.
Jessica Deckard asking. Okay, yesterday a patient. Sorry about that. Yesterday, a patient scanned her debit card and it wasn't accepted. She received the pre-qualification, but when selecting the plan, the card was rejected as invalid, despite being from a well-known bank. Is this a common issue? Is this something that comes up, Yanet, or that you can help with?
It's come up. It's not super often, but typically what I'm finding is you want to ask the patient if there's sufficient funds. Do they think they're using a debit card when it's really a credit card? Those are the most common things. A lot of the time, in this case, what I would assume is they just have to call their bank. The bank probably put a block on their card. They're trying to protect your customer and make sure there's not some kind of a, faulty transaction going through. So I think that's the easiest resolve is just ask if there's sufficient funds, ask them to call their bank and make sure they're not blocking the transaction. I think that those are like the absolute main reasons that I see a card get declined.
Those are good tips. Queenita Brown, former call center training manager. Anything you want to add there?
I think she hit on it. Usually if it's declined, it might be running as a credit card, versus it being a debit card, whether it's from like a well-known bank or not. They might have credit cards, they might have debit cards, they might have cards that run as both credit and debit. So if it's not working, then refer them to their bank.
Yeah, this is why an often neglected part of pre-qualification links are the fact that customers and patients can actually verify their debit card in the process. Once they get to the payment plan screen and they see all their options, they can go a step further to make sure their debit card works with Sunbit. I know a lot of folks sometimes skip that step, but that is something that many of you can proactively let your applicants know about. So Jessica, hope that
question,
helped. Worst case scenario, contact partner support when it's happening, and they can also direct you with some help there. We got a good chat
I
today.
have a
Hold on.
question for
Ooh.
you. So, today's episode, we're talking about like maximizing your partnership with Sunbit, and obviously your role consists of you supporting partners and practices and locations out in the field and in the office as well. What are ways that you and your team and the success team are able to support our partners?
There's so many different ways. I think the first thing for anybody here is know who your person is. Know who your account manager is, know the support number. And basically, like, we're here to help out with anything and everything. You got to update your user list. You need to refresh your training. New managers coming in need to get up to date on the iPad. And also, even the things that I don't necessarily have like the power to change. Like if there's like some kind of a technical error, I am not IT. If you're having trouble with the iPad, but I always know who to direct you to. So literally any question you have, who do I contact about marketing? Who do I contact about technical errors? Who's going to help me when I have a new hire? And that's me. So I consider myself and my success team to be the how-to people. This is how to fix this or go about this.
Okay. And then what other avenues of support are available if it's not like a how-to thing?
Usually, I would say your best backup or even like a front runner, honestly, is our partner support team. I consider partner support to be a lot more technical. They have the back end data that we don't have. They can look into the transaction, they can look into the error, find out why a card is getting declined. So they have all that technical background while our success team and myself are here to support on the how to. So think about support is more technical, more back end. We're more the front runners for your everyday needs.
Nice. We're just so proud of the fact that our U.S. call center is based in the beautiful state of Nevada. We do not outsource support or collections to a third party. When you call Sunbit, you are talking to Sunbit. And it's been like that over all these years. I know, Queenita, when you joined back in the day, there were very, very, very few agents, and now there are many, many, many.
Oh, yeah. Just like
Can I
Yanet,
add to
just
that,
a
actually?
Yeah.
Please.
During COVID, I think we had like 5 support agents or something. That was pretty crazy. So if they're still with us in the Vegas office, I'd love to see it. But we keep our partner support team extremely accountable. This was something that awed me during one of our company meetings, is that they said they run reports often to find out what is the average response time for a partner support agent. And I think they said it was like 45, 48 seconds that they'll pick up the phone in that time frame. So when you're in a bind, I'm in a meeting, maybe I didn't pick up the phone, call them and you can get a response very quickly. So I'm very proud of that. Our Vegas team is doing an amazing job.
That's probably quicker than it takes for me to answer my phone.
I don't answer my phone ever. It's like mostly spam calls at this point. Like,
right? It's crazy.
In fact, I had this weird experience where last week I got a call from a number I didn't recognize. It wasn't spam. It wasn't flagged as spam. And I don't know what came over me, but I answered it. Turned out to be Gabriel Perez, one of our top Sunbeasts at Nissan of downtown Los Angeles, who was like number 15 in the Elite Escape, and he's done over $1 million in revenue so far with Sunbit. Incredible. And I was like, oh man, I almost missed a call from a Sunbeast.
That's crazy.
Crazy, I know.
But you didn't have his contact saved? That's crazy.
Wow.
Shame on me. I blew it. I blew it, everybody. I'm sorry. By the way, final call for questions, everybody. You can use that Q&A button in your Zoom Events control panel. But Yanet, I'm curious, what are you like most excited about with Sunbit's future and where things are going?
Oh my God, literally, we're just growing so insanely quickly. Like, I have had the pleasure of seeing just everything grow. We didn't used to have dental, medical verticals. We didn't used to have pre-qualification links, online checkout links, the Sunbeast app. So I mean, I signed an NDA, but I know that we have a lot of fun things coming up with Sunbit, a lot of new tools that are coming up for the auto vertical. If you've been with Sunbit, working with us as a partner for a long time, you know that things have really changed and we take your feedback seriously. Best believe that I'm sending my recap emails to my management and I'm very honest about what's missing. So I like to hear from you guys truly, because we can make things happen through all the feedback. They want to know what's the biggest bit of feedback you heard this week. So I think it's just the constant growth, the new tools, the new ways to access Sunbit, help out more customers. So many things are changing and growing so rapidly. So I can only imagine what it's going to look like next July.
Yeah. Do you have like a final tip or some words of wisdom you want to leave the group with as we wrap up?
Yeah, we're maximizing our partnerships. So best thing to do is, if you don't already, let's find out who your rep is for your dealership, know who to call, have their phone number saved, have partner support's phone number saved. Those are going to be your two best friends. If you have those two contacts, you have a way to reach us very quickly. So you always have someone on your side.
All right.
Love.
The best. Absolutely amazing. Yanet, thank you so much for joining us today for this.
Thanks for having me.
Hope you enjoyed it, everybody. Coming up next on Sunbeast Live, stay with us, Yanet. We're in the middle of celebrating you Sunbeasts, and next week we're having our Sunbeast Nation Summer Celebration episode. We're cooking up some good stuff. For those of you participating in the live poll right now, a lot of those submissions are going to be considered for the live show next week, so may have some fun bonuses and things to give away and announcements from the team. And then we're bringing back the Wheel of Questions on July 15th. We're doing part 1 with me and Nita, and part 2 on the 22nd with Sunbit team member Moises Chavez-Acoa. You guys were on the same team for a while, if I don't, but now you're in the field, Yanet, and it's different. But really excited. Moises is going to join us for more questions. I'm going to go ahead and drop the link tree in the chat for everybody, because of course you can catch this simulcast on YouTube Live and posted same day to Spotify, and you can also catch Queenita's Sun Clips as YouTube Shorts, and making their reappearance as quizzes in the Sunbeast app for rewards points. So keep an eye out for those Sun Clips. Queenita, am I missing anything?
Nope. I think it was a great show, Yanet. Thanks for dropping your gems and sharing how our Sunbeasts can maximize their partnerships with us. But other than that, I hope we see you guys next week. Everyone, thank Yanet again for joining. And have a great day.
Thanks, you guys.
From all of us at Sunbit, thank you so much for being part of the Sunbeast user community, for joining us on Wednesdays to continue your education, and hopefully we will catch you at the next one. Take care, folks, while we dance this one out.